In this video, we will learn how to find midpoint between 2 points. We will look at the formula and we will work on some examples. Basically, if we are given 2 points A and B, like we have here with coordinates x1, y1 and x2, y2, then we want to find the coordinates of the point that lies midway between these 2 points. So we want to find the coordinates of that point. And this is the formula that we can use to find the coordinates of this midpoint. So if we call this point M, then the x coordinate of M is simply x1 plus x2 by 2. So take that coordinate, take this coordinate, add them and divide by 2. And the y coordinate is y1 plus y2 by 2. So take y coordinate of A, y coordinate of B, add them up and divide by 2. That will give us the coordinates of the midpoint. And we will learn how to derive this formula at the end of this video. Let's look at this example. So we are given the points 2, 1 and 8, 5. Let's quickly plot them on the graph just to see how they look like. So the point 2, 1 is over here. Let's call it A. And point 8, 5 is over here. So let's call that point B. So we want to find the midpoint between these 2 points. So just by looking at the graph, it does look like the midpoint is over here. And if we drew this line accurately, the coordinates of midpoint M must be 5, 3. So let's verify that using this formula over here. The formula says M equals x1 plus x2 by 2 over here and y1 plus y2 by 2 over here. So now we want to decide x1 and x2. x1, y1 are the coordinates of the first point. So we can call 2 to be x1 and we can call 1 to be y1. Similarly, x2, y2 are the coordinates of the second point. Let's call 8 to be x2 and let's call 5 to be y2. So now we have everything we need for the formula. So x1 plus x2 will be 2 plus 8 over here, and y1 plus y2 in the second part will be 1 plus 5. The rest is just simplifying this. So 2 plus 8 is 10 by 2, 1 plus 5 is 6 by 2, 10 by 2 is 5, and 6 by 2 is 3. So this is the midpoint. These are the coordinates of the midpoint between these 2 points. And from the graph, we can see that this point, which appears to be midpoint between these 2, will be 5, 3. So the x coordinate is 5 and y coordinate is 3. Next, we have this example. So we are given the points negative 5, 1 and 8, 5. The point negative 5, 1 is right here. So let's call that A again. 8, 5 is somewhere over here. The point 8, 5 is somewhere over here. So we want to find the midpoint between these 2 points. Now in this case, it's not so easy to tell where the midpoint would be just by looking at the graph. So let's say somewhere over here, but we can apply this formula to figure out where exactly the midpoint will be. So the midpoint is given by x1 plus x2 by 2 over here and y1 plus y2 by 2 over here for the y coordinate. So we need to again figure out x1, x2. So we can call this x1, call that y1, call this x2, and call that y2. So now we have everything we need for this formula. So x1 plus x2 goes over here. That means we have negative 5 plus 8 over here. y1 plus y2 goes over here. So 1 plus 5 goes over here. This is the setup. Now we just need to evaluate. -5 plus 8 is 3. So we have 3 by 2. And 1 plus 5 at the top here is 6. So 6 by 2. So this 3 by 2 is 1.5. 6 by 2 is 3. So these are the coordinates of the midpoint. And we can quickly plot that. And we can quickly plot this point on the graph. So let me erase this point we guessed initially. So 1.5 is here and 3 is here. So it looks like the midpoint will be that point over here. That is the midpoint, which has coordinates 1.5, 3. Here is another example. We are given these 2 points, -2, 1 and -8, 5. Let's plot them quickly on this graph just to see how they look like. -2, 1 is right here. Let's call that point A. And -8, -5 is, so we go -8. So we go 8 units to the left. That means we would be somewhere over here and -5. So it's a little outside the graph, but that's okay. So let's call this point B. We want to find the midpoint between these 2 points. So to find the coordinates of that midpoint, we'll again use this formula. So let's set up the formula. So we have x1 plus x2 by 2. And we have y1 plus y2 by 2. Now we need to figure out the values of x1, x2, y1, y2 and plug them in the formula. So we can call this one x1, call that one y1, call this one x2, and call this one y2. So x1 is -2. So we replace that x1 by -2 plus x2 is -8. So we have -2 plus -8. y1 is 1 plus y2 is -5. Divide by 2. So this is the setup. Now we just need to evaluate these 2 fractions. So -2 plus -8 is -10. And over here, 1 plus -5 is -4. That means the coordinates of the midpoints are -5, -2. And we can look at that on the graph. The point -5, -2 is right here, and that is the midpoint. All right, so now let's look at how the formula works. So we are given 2 general points, A and B, with coordinates x1, y1 and x2, y2. So our goal here is to find the point that is midway between these 2. So we want to find the coordinates of that point M. So first let's look at the x coordinates. So we want to find the number over here on the x-axis. But we know this value is x1, and we know that value over here is x2. So this must be exactly midway between x1 and x2. So that means we can just find the average of x1 and x2, which will be x1 plus x2 by 2. That will give us the value exactly midway between x1 and x2. So that will be the x coordinate of M. x1 plus x2 by 2. Similarly, we can look at the y coordinates. So at A, the y coordinate is y1. So that y value is y1. At B, the y coordinate is y2. So that y value will be y2. Again, M has y coordinate with value somewhere over here, which is exactly midway between y1 and y2. So to do that, so to find the value midway between y1 and y2, we can just take the average of y1 and y2, y1 plus y2 by 2. So that will be the y coordinate of M. And this is exactly the formula we had for midpoint. I'm just going to copy that formula down here. So M is x1 plus x2 by 2, comma y1 plus y2 by 2. So this is a very useful formula. We will look at some applications of this formula in our next videos. Thank you for watching.